Just picture this, a 12-cylinder mid-engine monocoque construction with a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. Sounds like a pretty cool Ferrari or Lamborghini, right? But by now you guys should all know I'm a Volkswagen fan at heart, so today we're going to be talking all about my childhood poster car, and that is the Volkswagen W12 Concept car. That's right, Volkswagen had a W12 engine strapped into a beautifully designed sports car. And today, we're gonna be going over everything you guys need to know about this car. So guys, it's time to buckle up. Get ready as we peel back layers on my childhood poster car. And in today's episode of All You Need to Know About the Volkswagen W12 Concept Car. Before we talk about the car, let's briefly touch on the history of the W12 engine. The W12 engine design has been around since the early 20th century, initially developed for the use in aviation. The first time the design was used in a car was in the 1990s, when an Italian race team, Life Racing, developed a 3-bank W12 engine for the 1990 Formula One season. However, this engine was incredibly unreliable and lacked power. The car failed to pre-qualify for any races, killing the W12 engine program. The W12 wouldn't see a return until Volkswagen designed the original 4-bank 5.6-liter W12 in the Volkswagen W12 Synchro concept. This W12 design took two VR6 engines and joined together at a 72-degree angle. This engine would be developed into the 6-liter W12, first found in the Audi A8, then released in the Volkswagen Phaeton and even the Volkswagen Touareg. In 2003, a twin-turbo version of this engine was built and found its way into the Bentley Continental GT and the Bentley Flying Spur. The concept design of the W12 made the engine smaller than your typical V equivalent, meaning a W12 was more compact than a V12. Using this concept, this allowed Volkswagen to fit a bigger engine into a smaller engine bay. Volkswagen used the W technology to develop several different engines, creating a W lineup. The W8 engine was built to fit inside the Volkswagen Passat, where a normal V8 wouldn't fit. Lastly, Volkswagen created a W16 quad-turbo engine based off of this technology. This would be showcased in the Bugatti Veyron, Chiron, and Devo. Now what you all have been waiting for, the Volkswagen W12 concept car. Volkswagen Group CEO Ferdinand Piëch hired legendary design team Intel Design to create a Volkswagen sports car. This car would have to be mid-engine, fit Volkswagen Synchro all-wheel drive system, and it would have to be powered by the new W12 engine. The initial design concept was showcased at the 1997 Tokyo Motor Show. The original concept was the bright yellow 5.6-liter W12 engine with the Synchro all-wheel drive. The car was estimated to output around 414 horsepower, which isn't much by today's standards. This car came to be known as the Volkswagen W12 Synchro. The car had a short nose and a long swooping engine cover, terminating at a flat rear deck, embodying bits of the long tail McLaren F1. The car was 3.5 feet tall from ground to roof, making it incredibly low, and this kind of helped with the aerodynamic aspects of the car. The car also sported many sports car features, such as scissor doors and a spoiler that would deploy at over 75 miles an hour. Of course, a serious production car of the W12 Synchro was ruled out from the start, but Volkswagen did announce that they were going to continue developing the engine for future models. In 1998, at the Geneva Motor Show, the Synchro morphed into the W12 Roadster. The Roadster was mechanically the same as the Synchro, it just lacked two important components. One being, of course, the roof, because now it was a convertible, and second, the all-wheel drive Synchro system went out the door. This Roadster was now rear-wheel drive, and this helped lighten the car that allowed Volkswagen to concentrate specifically on developing the W12 engine. The last rendition of the W12 was showcased at the 2001 Tokyo Motor Show. This concept was called the Volkswagen W12 Nardo, named after the infamous Nardo ring in Italy. The Nardo basically got a mid-cycle refresh design, I would say. This was redesigning the headlights, recessing the taillights, and making the whole car just slightly edgier and leaner than the original Syncro. This theme carried into the engine bay, where they removed the old 5.6-liter W12 and added a new and improved 6-liter W12 engine. Horsepower was up to 591 horsepower and 458 foot-pounds of torque. Now, making that kind of power output is a true supercar for the time. Volkswagen claimed that the Nardo could reach 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds and had a top speed of 214 miles an hour. For example, the Lamborghini Diablo VT 6.0 could do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, putting the Nardo up there with some of the fastest production cars in the world. The interior was outfitted with a leather dash, aluminum trim, and exposed carbon monocoque. The seats and door trims were finished in a black/gray suede with a color-coded smooth leather. The steering wheel was not perfectly round, and it was shaped more for function and took inspiration from Formula One technology. As you can see, this car was more than just a design study. The W12 Nardo was a full functioning car that could have been put into production. The W12 Nardo was the apex of the W12 program. Even though the W12 Nardo was never put into production, the development of this car allowed future legendary cars to become a reality. Before putting the program to bed, Volkswagen wanted to put the W12 Nardo to the test, shooting to break the world speed record of distance covered in 24 hours. On February 23, 2002, the Volkswagen W12 Nardo looped Nardo ring not once, but twice in 24 hours straight. The second run, the car covered over 4,815 miles, with an average pace of 200.6 miles an hour. The crazy part is this record is still held by the W12 to this day. In total, the W12 contributed to 7 new world records and 12 international class records in its short run. The Volkswagen W12 is a beautiful concept, but just wasn't the right fit for the Volkswagen brand. This car proved that Volkswagen could build a supercar, breaking world speed records for distance covered in 24 hours, along with a handful of other FIA records. The biggest impact this car had for the Volkswagen brand was the proof that a W concept engine could work, delivering great power and reliability for top-of-the-line models. Sadly, in the early 2000s, Volkswagen purchased Lamborghini, Bentley, and Bugatti, putting a stop to the development of the Volkswagen W12 Nardo concept. The W12 engine design for this car, however, lives on today in the Bentley Continental GT, and its heritage can be linked to the development of the Bugatti W16 engine. I wish Volkswagen made the W12 concept. I think this car today would be considered a cult classic and would be highly sought after by collectors. I do though completely understand who in their right mind would be paying $200,000 for a Volkswagen in the early 2000s. If today you would want to pay that much money for a Volkswagen, it's pretty simple. You can go out there and buy a Volkswagen Hurricane or a Volkswagen R8 for the same price. Don't forget to leave a comment on your thoughts on this iconic car in the comments section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more exciting automotive content. Until next time, keep driving and keep dreaming.